The Trouble with Television by Robert MacNeil. It is difficult to escape the influence of television. If you fit the statistical averages, by the age of 20, you will have been exposed to at least 20,000 hours of television. You can add 10,000 hours for each decade you have lived after the age of 20. The only things Americans do more than watch television are work and sleep. Calculate for a moment what could be done with even a part of those hours. 5,000 hours, I'm told, is what a typical college undergraduate spends working on a bachelor's degree. In 10,000 hours, you could have learned enough to become an astronomer or an engineer. You could have learned several languages fluently. If it appealed to you, you could be reading Homer in the original Greek or Dostoevsky in Russian. If it didn't, you could have walked around the earth and written a book about it. The trouble with television is that it discourages concentration. Almost anything interesting and rewarding in life requires some constructive, consistently applied effort. The dullest, the least gifted of us can achieve things that seem miraculous to those who never concentrate on anything. But television encourages us to apply no effort. It sells us instant gratification. It diverts us only to divert, to make the time pass without pain. Television's variety becomes a narcotic, not a stimulus. Its serial kaleidoscopic exposures force us to follow its lead. The viewer is on a perpetual guided tour, 30 minutes at the museum, 30 minutes at the cathedral, then back on the bus to the next attraction, except on television, typically, the spans allotted are on the order of minutes or seconds, and the chosen delights are more often car crashes and people killing one another. In short, a lot of television usurps one of your most precious of all human gifts, the ability to focus your attention yourself rather than just passively surrendering it. Capturing your attention and holding it is the prime motive of most television programming and enhances its role as a profitable advertising vehicle. Programmers live in constant fear of losing anyone's attention. Anyone's. The surest way to avoid doing so is to keep everything brief, not to strain the attention of anyone, but instead to provide constant stimulation through variety, novelty, action, and movement. Quite simply, television operates on the appeal to the short attention span. It is simply the easiest way out, but it has come to be regarded as a given and inherent as the medium itself, as an imperative, as though General Sarnoff or one of the other august pioneers of video had bequeathed to us tablets of stone commanding that nothing in television shall ever require more than a few moments concentration. In its place, that is fine. Who can quarrel with a medium that so brilliantly packages escapist entertainment as a mass marketing tool? But I see its values now pervading this nation and its life. It has become fashionable to think that, like fast food, fast ideas are the way to get to a fast moving, impatient public. In the case of news, this practice, in my view, results in inefficient communication. I question how much of television's nightly news effort is really absorbable and understandable. Much of it is what has been aptly described as machine gunning with scraps. I think its technique fights coherence. I think it tends to make things ultimately boring and dismissible, unless they are accompanied by horrifying pictures. Because almost anything is boring and dismissible if you know nothing about it. I believe that TV's appeal to the short attention span is not only inefficient communication, but decivilizing as well. Consider the casual assumptions that television tends to cultivate, that complexity must be avoided, that visual stimulation is a substitute for thought, that verbal precision is an anachronism. It may be old-fashioned, but I was taught that words arranged in